The Indo-Pacific is now the world's most contested arena. Stretching from East Africa to the Americas, it's where the US and a rising China face off for power and influence. Every military exercise, every patrol, is a calculated move in a high-stakes game. This isn't the old Cold War. It's a modern rivalry of technology, economics, and military might. Imagine a chessboard where the pieces are aircraft carriers and fighter jets, and the board is the East China Sea, South China Sea, and Sea of Japan. Each move says, "We're here, we're strong. Don't cross this line." The US and its allies, like Japan, want to keep the current order and ensure freedom of navigation. China, often backed by Russia, wants a new arrangement, one that gives it more say. This contest is fueled by history, national interests, and clashing visions for the future. For the US, its presence in Asia is a legacy of decades-old alliances. For China, those alliances are a barrier to its ambitions. The recent military flights are symptoms of a deeper struggle for dominance. The Indo-Pacific is home to half the world's population and drives the global economy. Any conflict here would have global consequences. These maneuvers aren't just for show. They're a dangerous dialogue, conducted with jet engines instead of words. Each patrol is a dance of deterrence and intimidation. The world watches, hoping this dance doesn't spiral into disaster. The stakes could not be higher. The US and Japan just staged a major joint military exercise. American B-52 bombers and Japanese F-15s flew together over the Sea of Japan. A clear show of unity and strength. This wasn't routine. It was a message to Beijing and Moscow. The alliance is strong and ready. The B-52s project American reach, while Japan's F-15s show it's an active partner, not a bystander. These flights demonstrate seamless cooperation, crucial in any crisis. The exercise was designed to be seen, to reassure allies and warn rivals. For Washington and Tokyo, deterrence is key. Show overwhelming strength to prevent conflict. But what reassures one side can provoke the other. The flight was a deliberate move on the chessboard, meant to influence calculations in Beijing and Moscow. The unspoken message, challenge us, and the cost will be high. This set the stage for an immediate, predictable response. China and Russia answered quickly. Within hours, their bombers, Chinese H-6Ks and Russian Tu-95s, flew joint patrols over the same contested waters. This was no coincidence. It was a direct countermove. The message, we're here too, and we're united. These joint flights symbolize a deepening partnership, challenging US dominance. By flying together, they show readiness to coordinate in a crisis. The patrols also test Japan and South Korea's defenses, forcing them to scramble jets. Each encounter is tense, with strict rules to avoid accidents. China and Russia use these flights to gather intelligence, practice cooperation, and apply psychological pressure. Their goal, make US allies feel vulnerable and question American guarantees. The region is no longer under sole US influence. A new power dynamic is emerging. The dragon and the bear are making their presence unmistakable. These flights are more than military drills. They're strategic messages. The US-Japan patrol signals Alliance Strength Attack 1, face both. It's classic deterrence, meant to make rivals think twice. China and Russia's joint patrols declare, we reject US dominance and offer an alternative order. For smaller nations, this multipolar reality means more choices and more pressure. The US wants to enforce freedom of navigation. China asserts sovereignty over disputed seas. Russia supports China to distract the US. The bombers themselves, B-52s, Tu-95s, H-6Ks, are nuclear capable, a subtle reminder of the ultimate stakes. These flights are brinkmanship, pushing limits without crossing into war. The nuclear shadow compels caution, but the risk of miscalculation remains. It's a dangerous, calculated part of modern great power rivalry. With more military flights, the risk of miscalculation grows. What one side sees as defense, the other sees as provocation. Crowded skies mean accidents are more likely. A single mistake could spark crisis. History shows how quickly incidents can escalate, especially with today's advanced aircraft. Routine encounters normalize tension, tempting leaders to push boundaries. The closer the pieces move, the greater the risk of a catastrophic misstep. This isn't new. History is full of rising powers challenging the old order. The US now faces a rising China, echoing the Thucydides trap of ancient Greece. Aerial patrols are today's version of gunboat diplomacy and Cold War standoffs. Alliances form and realign. The US-Japan partnership, once aimed at the Soviets, now counters China. China and Russia, while not formal allies, are a powerful bloc. The region is dividing into opposing camps, reminiscent of the 20th century. But history also teaches restraint. The Cold War stayed cold because both sides understood the risks. Communication and crisis management kept disaster at bay. Today's leaders must learn from that past, compete fiercely, but avoid catastrophe. The challenge: manage rivalry without repeating history's worst mistakes. The bomber chess game isn't ending, it's intensifying. China's rise and America's resolve ensure this rivalry will define the future. Smaller nations face tough choices as the region risks dividing into rival blocs. The contest will expand into technology, space, and cyberspace. Drones and AI will make the game even riskier. The future depends on leaders' wisdom to deter aggression, but keep talking. The shadow of great power competition will stretch far ahead. Navigating it safely is the 21st century's greatest geopolitical challenge.